Harper Perennial and Harper Audio present The Good Mother, a novel by Sue Miller. Performed by Marni Penning. Chapter 1. The post office in East Shelton reminded me of the one in the little town near my grandparents' summer home in Maine. In the days of that vanished post office, when I was small, my grandfather was usually the one to drive in and pick up the mail each day, but he almost always took one of us cousins along to row him across the lake, the first leg of the trip, even though at that stage he was still a strong man, a better rower than any of us. We vied for the privilege, the treat of a town visit. Now, as I watched my daughter mount the wooden steps in East Shelton and cross the long, narrow front porch, her sandals slapping the boards noisily, her small legs flashing as she ran ahead of me, eager to be first through the door, I remembered the deep pleasure of entering that other post office of long ago. The same array of brass-trimmed letterboxes, the same worn wooden floors, nicked counters. The same grill across the opening where, when you rang the bell, the postmistress would appear from the similarly mysterious bowels of her house. If memory served me, and wasn't being distorted by the push of the present, the postmistress here even looked like that other one. She was 70-ish, skinny and stern, with gray hair and glasses, and skin so white, so floury, you half expected her touch would leave powdery prints on the envelopes she slid towards you under the grill. Here my daughter would ask for the mail, because there was just our name to remember. In that other post office of my memory, after allowing me to ring the bell, my grandfather would greet the postmistress and then pronounce the 3 or 4 family names for whose members mail might be waiting. It was the cousin's job, though, to distribute the mail after the long trip back to camp down the dirt road, across the lake. It would be lunchtime. The family gathered on the wide-screened porch around several tables laden with dishes, food. The lucky mail carrier of the day made the rounds, reading aloud the names on the envelopes, and people with letters were expected to open them then and there and read relevant bits of their correspondence to the assembled group. It amazes me now to think of that strange, innocent intimacy. Did none of those aunts or uncles or cousins have an illicit lover? A shady business partner? A possible secret? Apparently not. The letters, mostly to the women, were full of news of invitations, dinners, luncheons, marriages, deaths, births, gifts. When I pushed open the wooden screen door, the bell attached to its frame jingled faintly. Inside, the postmistress stood leaning forward behind her grill, listening to Molly. In her hands, my daughter held a white envelope, but she didn't turn to me with it yet. She was telling the postmistress about the movie we were going to see. Though the old woman was unsmiling, Molly liked her. Her attention was absolute, and she'd given Molly several presents. Once a piece of hard candy, and another time a stack of change of address cards. She nodded to me as I approached the grill and gestured to Molly to hand me my letter. Without interrupting her flow of conversation, Molly did. As soon as I really looked at the envelope, I knew it was about the divorce. There was something antiseptically formal about it, something which smacked of officialdom. I checked the return address quickly before I tucked the letter into my purse. Lloyd Fine and Eagleston. Yes, indeed. I was in no rush to open it. It couldn't be anything urgent, since our court date hadn't even been set yet.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?